Thank you all for coming to the York Speech Team's performance at Fine Arts Week. My name is Brooklyn Nuss.
And I'm Andrea Alcaraz, and I'm a junior.
Oh, I'm a sophomore. And today you'll be seeing 4 different events ranging from public address to interpretation. Now there's 14 events in the typical season, which we run in the winter, and then our state series is in February, which we had members competing in, and our PIR won this year, which was very exciting. So, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, so we're also excited to be kicking off this Fine Arts Week, and we're so excited for you all to be educated and to be informed and to have fun. So thank you all, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello, my name is Fernando Valdez-Nicholson. I'm a junior here, and I am the regional entry for informative speaking. So informative speaking is an 8-minute pre-written speech, and the objective is to inform the audience and also entertain while doing that. So it's a pretty, like, when you think of speech, that's at least what I thought of when I first thought of speech. But it's a really, like, challenging but also very fun event because you're writing a speech and you gotta, deliver your information, but you also gotta, like, keep people awake. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. So without further ado, a roadmap to the shopping malls. Picture this: a broken air conditioner, rows upon rows of corn, familial strife, Ed Sheeran. Are we dead? Worse, we're on a road trip. When I was younger, my family and I would go on road trips from Illinois to Montana every single year just so we could visit family. It was the worst. The only thing that kept me going the whole time were the 20 minutes we would spend at the Belvedere shopping mall. As my dad filled up on gas, my brother and I would run inside and play on the claw machine, sit in the massaging chairs, and best of all, get a nice warm cup of Auntie Anne's pretzel nuggets. For those 20 minutes, I had games, restaurants, and stores all under one roof for me to enjoy. It was great. Now, I'm far from the first enthusiast of shopping malls. In fact, it seems like America itself has fallen in love with them, to the point that they're as American as apple pie and crippling medical debt. But as the creator of shopping malls said in his book, Shopping Towns USA, malls were originally conceived of as community centers, where people would converge to not only shop, but also to socialize and engage in cultural activity. So malls weren't exactly intended to be the perfect getaway from the harsh realities of the road trip. To find out what they were supposed to be, today, let's locate the origins of shopping malls, browse through their rise to fame, and finally, head to the checkout with their future. But first, let's check out the origins of shopping malls. Malls began as the brainchildren of Victor Gruen, an architect from Vienna who immigrated to the US in 1938. Gruen created the mall in an attempt to bring personality to American suburbs, which he thought were killing the American citizenry. Now, I find that a couple of live, laugh, love posters would have done the job, but hey, what do I know? To Victor's credit, he had some okay ideas about what a mall should actually be. An article on the Austrian embassy website explained that Gruen wanted malls to be third spaces, social gathering places in addition to the established environments of home and work. You see, Gruen wanted to have schools, apartments, and hospitals all existing alongside malls, so as to emulate the city centers that he grew up with all the way over in Europe. The first shopping mall, Southdale Center in Minnesota, reflected Victor's philosophies, with a courtyard, statues, and even a bird sanctuary. Opened in 1956, ABC News reported on October 13th, 2022, that Southdale immediately lured visitors and retailers with the promise of year-round shopping. So things were going great. But our growing movement for independence from cities and apartments meant that no one really cared about the social aspects of malls, just the commercial ones. In the end, Gruen's revolutionary idea of creating a space for Americans to not just shop, but also socialize was disregarded. Disregarded, just like my desperate and futile pleading to my mom to do anything but go on another road trip. I mean, now that we've located the origins of shopping malls, let's peruse through their rise to fame. When I told you that people loved Southdale Center, I was not kidding. In fact, people adored the mall so much they compared it to Disneyland, which had opened the year prior. I mean, I'm not one to judge. But if I had to choose between Tomorrowland and Old Navy, I'm going on Space Mountain. This ludicrous rise in popularity meant that just 4 years after the first mall was opened, 4,500 more had been built. By the 80s, malls defined American culture and were the place to socialize, eat, and, of course, shop. 80s malls had a couple of key differences from the originals, however. Firstly, they now emphasized anchor stores, which, according to Shopify, are the big department stores at the mall. Think Sears, Macy's, or JCPenney. Secondly, malls took the courtyards, statues, and bird sanctuaries and ditched them in favor of institutions of equal artistic merit. Poorly sanitized food courts. Finally, and most significantly, malls are now surrounded by huge parking lots to accommodate all of their new visitors, which is pretty ironic because Victor Gruen despised parking lots with a passion. According to the Medium on April 15th, 2022, Gruen was once quoted as saying that parking lots pose a threat to human life and health as grave as the exposed sewer. Despite Gruen's dramatic objections, mall culture kept chugging along all the way until the Mall of America in 1992. Now this lived up to the Disneyland comparison with a 7-acre amusement park, wedding chapel, and 520 stores. Despite all of these cool and entirely necessary features, malls would never again return to the popularity they had in the 80s, fading into obscurity alongside Swatch watches, leg warmers, and the Soviet Union. We've located the origins of shopping malls, browsed through their highs, and now it's time to check out their lows. The first real death blow to the mall was the 2008 financial crisis, because, as Spencer Lee of the Cornell Journal of Law and Public Policy put it, anchor stores, which were the anchors of shopping malls, began declaring bankruptcy. Without anchor stores, malls began struggling to make ends meet, an issue exacerbated by a rise in online shopping and a second economic recession brought on by a global pandemic. However, not all hope is lost. Although most malls are declining or closing outright, some have realized that it's going to take a little bit more than a really good deal to get people to come back. The Journal of Shopping Centers reported on April 15th, 2022, that the redevelopment of Hawthorne Mall in Vernon Hills will include new retail and dining options, indoor and outdoor gathering spaces, multifamily housing units, and 152 units of senior living spaces. More than 65 years after Victor Gruen built the first mall in hopes of starting a wave of multi-use urban spaces, it seems like people are finally catching on. In a world where online shopping will always be more convenient than brick and mortar, malls need to do something extra, which is exactly what Hawthorne Mall, Oak Brook Mall, and many others are doing. Victor's dream of a miniature European downtown in the heart of American suburbia may not have been 50s proof, but it might just be future proof. Who would have guessed? Victor. Victor would have guessed. Malls have had a rough journey to get to where they are today. One could say, like a road trip, just like I have had to struggle through more pit stops and shoddy hotels than I can count. Malls started as just one man's dream, then rose to be the symbol of American suburbia, then fell from grace. But now, they're reborn, like a phoenix from the ashes, if those ashes are clearance bins and linoleum tiling. Now that we've located the origins of shopping malls, browsed through their highs, and head to the checkout with their lows, but also their future, I think it's time for us to leave and hit the parking lot that Gruen so despised. But I think Victor will be happy to know that in one hand I've got a bucket of fresh pretzel nuggets, and in the other, I've got a roadmap for the bright future of shopping malls. So, who's ready for a road trip?
I'm Nico Thorson, and I was the regional entry for humorous interpretation. And basically, I will be doing a story and have different voices and such because, well, I'm playing all the parts. So, hope you like it. Hi, I'm Reggie, and in my little town of Apple Valley, I'm pretty famous. You see, I'm the most famous kid detective ever. Don't forget about me, Harriet the Spy. Ugh! Shut up, Harriet! Ah! I shall never sleuth again. Anyway, I have my own business, solving such famous cases as who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? And do chicken pox really turn you into a chicken? Yes. Yes, they do. But little did I know that my biggest case ever was about to arrive. Everyone loves a good detective. I mean, Sherlock Holmes, Nancy Drew, Dora the Explorer, and now Reggie Wilson, Boy Detective by Christopher Reif. It all started at lunchtime. Shh! Reggie! That's Fenton. We've been best friends since kindergarten. What seems to be the problem, buddy?
I think Mr. Bailey is a robot. I mean, it totally makes sense. It's only the first day of 4th grade, and he already gave us homework.
Over the weekend, he doesn't have a heart. And you know what else doesn't have hearts? Grapes. Besides grapes, robots. And you know, I have enough problems as it is with my allergies. I don't want to worry about that robot killing me. Okay, I'll do it. Now, I knew this was going to be a tough case. I was going to need some help. I needed animal instincts, like that kid in my class who was raised by wolves. Just because I was raised by wolves doesn't make me any different from the rest of you. Ah! Maybe not. I need someone with energy, like the kid with restless leg syndrome. I can't control it. No. I need someone with smarts. I needed a girl. I needed Susie. Shh. Stop. You have reached the girls' lunch table? No boys allowed. You're not allowed to talk to me unless you talk and girl. Okay, fine. So, here's the tea. We think Mr. Bailey is like a robot. You cannot be serious, girlfriend. We're so serious. Girl boss, Mr. Bailey doesn't have any feelings. What else has no feelings? Grapes. Besides grapes, robots. I don't know, you guys. You have no evidence. Besides, what's in it for me? Looks like it was time to use my secret weapon. If you help us, I'll give you my Ketanji Brown Jackson trading card. Oh my gosh. It's like the last one I need to complete my female Supreme Court justices set. Once I have that one, I'll have all 6. Okay, I'm in. Great. Now what do we need to do to get the evidence that we need? Assignment 1, snooping on his classroom. I'm on it. Assignment 2, eavesdrop on the teacher's lounge. That's where you two come in. And assignment 3. There is no assignment 3. Now scram. Gotcha. Come on, Fenton. Let's go. Shh. I pulled out my super high-tech listening device. A glass. Yes, dear. I need to stay home tonight. You know, recharge my batteries. Fenton, Mr. Bailey has a battery pack. Like that percussionist rabbit. Boom, 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 boom. He just keeps going. Psst, Reggie, Fenton, Susie, did you find anything? You betcha, boys. I found these CDs on his desk. Mr. Roboto, Iron Man, the complete works of Celine Dion. And I found a piece of paper with his full name on it. Ulysses U.S. Bailey. His initials are USB! Gentlemen, we need to do something drastic. So we went to someone who could do something about our problem. Shh! Principal Wilson! Principal Wilson! Yes, hold on. I need to send this email to 15 friends so my crush will call me at midnight. All right, sent. Oh, hello, Reggie. You out solving another case? Yes, sir. Mr. Bailey is a robot! And we have proof. Mr. Bailey has no feelings. And what else has no feelings? Grapes. Besides grapes. Robots. If I've hired a robot, I've put the entire student body in danger. I need to do something about this. Boop, boop, boop. Send Bailey to my office. Shh. All right, Bailey, your secret is out. The children here have informed me that you, sir, are a robot. And if we have learned anything from the Salem witch trials, it is to always trust the accusations of small children. Yeah, and we heard you saying that you need to go home and recharge your batteries. Ha ha ha, children, that is only a figure of speech.
What about the way you're speaking, huh? Explain that.
I have a speech impediment. Oh my gosh. We are like so sorry. Yes, I feel awful. You know what? I'm gonna give you a raise. Of course, I did just give half the school's budget to that very nice man in Nigeria. I'll just cut some more useless art classes. Come on, Reggie, let's go. We judged someone we didn't know unfairly. I think the moral here is pretty clear. I don't know, you guys. Something still doesn't seem right. One last question, Bailey. What kind of movie is The Terminator? A tragedy due to the unjust persecution of robots. Aha! Darn. Okay, robot, what do you want with us? I only wanted to experience human love. Ba-bum. With little children? Error, syntax, error. Love, so you didn't want to kill us? I am not programmed to kill. Is there any way I can stay? If we keep a robot on staff, we'll be the first school in the nation to offer true robotic diversity. Think of the government grants. All right, Bailey, you're back online. There is this burning sensation inside of me. What is this feeling? Cafeteria food? Cooties? Chlamydia? The adult cooties? No, you guys, it's love. Love, mission accomplished. Thank you, children. Shh. Well, there you have it. Mr. Bailey still teaches at Apple Valley Elementary, but now he's teaching English. And the Velveteen Rabbit was taken away from the boy, and they never saw each other again. Tear. And the government grants at our school bring back the art and music classes.
I love the recorder.
This one's called Hot Cross Buns. And Fenton, Susie, and I are still out solving cases. Luckily for us, there's never a shortage of mysteries in Apple Valley. How do I make it stop? I'm on the case.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'll be doing special occasion speaking. I was the regional entry as well for this year. And special occasion speaking is essentially, how I see it, is a funny TED Talk. And in my speech, I will be talking about a social issue. And the interesting thing about special occasion speaking is that we have an audience stated within the speech. So for example, for mine, I'll be talking to a bunch of my coworkers, and I'll be telling them about an issue, its effects, and then how we can solve it in our everyday lives. So I hope you enjoy. My mom is the real hustler. She immigrated to America at 21, went to 2 universities, and works 2 jobs now. And she loves it. Though constant working has restructured her sense of self-worth. And honestly, it's rubbed off on me too. And how hard I work here at Chipotle. So I, Andrea Alcaraz, called the secret meeting for Employee of the Month candidates here in the Guac Inn freezer, because y'all are doing too much. I mean, Lisa, you showed up the day after your wedding, and Kevin, why do you keep calling the restaurant on your days off? So after tirelessly searching the web for new non-slip shoes, I stumbled upon the concept of work addiction. Psychologist Wayne E. Oates defined work addiction as this uncontrollable need to incessantly be working. And much like many other addictions, it affects our health, life, and ability to function socially. So after pulling an all-nighter to gather the effects of work addiction, and at no point sensing the irony in this, it's clear that work addiction has a bigger hold on us than we thought. So first, let's order the causes, scoop up the effects, and boil up the solutions. By cutting down on work addiction, we can heed the Chipotle creed. Better for you, better for people, better for our planet. And yes, guac is always extra. Let us discuss the 2 main causes of work addiction: unspoken competition and the fact that we find discomfort in not working. First, unspoken competition. It seems that we put ourselves in a position where we are in constant competition with our own peers. In his book, Confessions of a Workaholic, The Facts About Work Addiction, again, psychologist Wayne E. Oates tells us that employees are extorted by their managers to consistently go above and beyond. Raises, promotions, and these cute little avocado pins that we can put on our hats are handed out to those who take on these extra responsibilities. You know how every single Monday we huddle up around the freezer and we tally up how many burritos we can wrap per hour as compared to the other Chipotle across town? Well, now every single time I hear the word burrito, a small bead of sweat drips down my forehead. I yell for Narnia, and I rap harder than I've ever rapped before. Though, I guess it does seem worth it to outperform store number 432, just like how any human being could outperform Fergie in a national anthem sing-off. But second, the fact that we find discomfort in not working. According to the Workaholics Anonymous Book of Recovery, when we complete our assigned tasks, we find just a few more that we need to complete, and then a few more, resulting in compulsive, frantic working. During lockdown, we had to put our lives, responsibilities, and work on hold and stay home. We found a sense of safety in binging all 19 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, running a McDreamy fan account, and making sure that we can perform an appendectomy just as good as any Meredith Grey. Now, we all have those special customers from time to time, like that family of 5. Whenever they come in, they want their tortillas to be heated to a temperature neither cooler nor hotter than 200 degrees, double wrapped, with a little cup of fajitas on the side. No, it can't touch the cheese because your son's lactose intolerant. But after a while, we are left to deal with our own burnout. It is a form of exhaustion which affects our physical and mental health, It is ultimately counterproductive. Geraldine Walsh with the Irish Times on April 22nd, 2022, describes occupational burnout and how it results from chronic work-related stress and has physical symptoms such as exhaustion, complete energy depletion, headaches, and stomach aches. Last year with NHS applications and college essay drafts, I eventually became exhausted, and I didn't even give myself the time to rest properly. A second effect of work addiction is feeling as if you don't even deserve relaxation at all. Celeste Headley wrote in her book, "Do Nothing." What? I thought the title was pretty self-explanatory. No, I'm kidding. But what she did say was no matter how much we achieve, no matter how many extra hours we work, we still remain feeling unfulfilled. Now, whenever I can, I try to go to $5 Movie Tuesday and watch whatever Marvel thing is at the time. And as I would sit there and watch Tom Holland swing from building to building, or Tom Holland simply being Tom Holland, I would feel the sense of anxiety rush through me. Now, were these my spidey senses kicking in? No. Rather, just my anxiety telling me to study, work, and work harder. Now, let's just cut to the cheese. Chase, and give you my two main solutions: create boundaries and practice professional detachment. First, create boundaries, or at least really, really long bridges. We need to separate work from non-work. The well-being thesis, dated October 10th, 2022, tells us that by taking lunchtime breaks and detaching from work, we actually increase levels of energy and decrease exhaustion. As the second semester hit me like a truck, I was exhausted, worn out, and burnt out like a crisp tortilla. Eventually, I caved and I decided to take my own mental health day. I stayed in my bedroom, chucked my Chromebook at the wall, wrapped myself in bed like a burrito, and slept for hours and hours, just like the Pinto Princess I am. The next morning, I went back to school with more motivation. Second, practice professional detachment, coined by Lori Ruttman in her book, Betting on Yourself. It is the understanding that your work is not the core of your identity. The idea is that you can be both productive and committed without your self-worth revolving around your job. It's okay to put down your meticulously color-coded weekly planner and to pick up some Curious George. What? I have a thing for men in yellow hats. When we were able to cut down and slow ourselves down, we were able to live a less exhausting life. So there you have it. Something that we don't really get as Chipotle employees. Tips. Now, before we all go into hypothermic shock, let's wrap this meeting up. Now that I've ordered the causes, scooped up the effects, and foiled up the solutions, hopefully you can find it a little bit easier to stop feeling guilty about your days off this week, or calling the restaurant 15 times, asking, "Oh, is it okay if I stop reading my emails during my lunch break?" Or take a vacation day, or watch movies on $5 Tuesday. When we are able to slow down, we are able to live life with less wasted lettuce on the ground, and the ability to work hard so we can play hard, just like my mom. Thank you.
everybody. My name is Brooklyn Nuss. I'm a sophomore, and I was the regional entry for dramatic interpretation. Now, dramatic interpretation is one of the interpretation events, and in this piece, I'll be portraying an 8-minute monologue or speech that is, typically they're pretty sad and they're dramatic. And some of them can be performed like Nico's was, where you are playing multiple different characters. But for mine, I will solely be playing one, which is a mother. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Danny, what were you thinking? Leanne, stop crying, please. You've broken it into 1,000 pieces. Why would you do that? How is it better like this? Leanne, stop that, please. It's not helping. Come on, no tears. No, I won't tell Daddy, but I want you to apologize to your sister and promise you won't break anything else she makes. Yes, you have to promise. Because I said you have to promise. Danny, please stop that, Danny. I know they're not really here, by the way. My children, it's not like I think they're actually here. I know they're not here. There is no pain so great as the memory of joy and present grief. After the harrowing loss of her family, a mother must ask, how can you cherish the memories of love after they have been stained by the memory of sorrow? Girls and Boys by Dennis Kelly. I don't know why when I do this, it's always moments of conflict. Like, it's my imagination, so you'd think I'd go for beautiful moments like just sitting down with Danny asleep up against me, Leanne lying in my lap watching TV, me playing with her hair, there's something. My children were stabbed to death. The knife was a Candor GX208 hunting knife, especially purchased for that purpose. They are incredibly sharp when first bought, incredibly sharp. Danny probably didn't know much about it. He was lying on his bed when it happened, so they think he must have thought he was just playing a game or something. There was a slight bruise on his rib cage right here, just at the base where the ribs start. But it was a very slight bruise, and they say it wouldn't have caused him any noticeable pain, as it would have happened at the exact moment the knife went in. So he put his thumb there to find where the bone ended and the soft open parts of my son's chest began, and lined up the tip of the knife with the back of his thumb to make sure it went in the right place, and then he... I will admit to being obsessed with what was going through his mind as he deliberately pushed the knife up into his own son's heart. I will admit to that. They don't know if Leanne was in the room when it happened. This seems not as likely as it just doesn't feel efficient. I tend to think she was concerned. She was always very smart and perceptive, and I think she would have noticed something was wrong when he came in. She would have been worried for her little brother. We know she ran because she was found at the front door, and as he chased after her, he left a bloody hand mark, a smear on the bedroom door frame consistent with someone moving at speed. He stabbed her 8 times. Here, 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 twice here, 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 and then he slit her throat to make sure. They are incredibly sharp, those knives. And then there's this 23-minute period where no one really knows what he did, but he was in that apartment with the bodies of his kids. but he didn't kill the dog, which is unusual. Normally they do. It's called family annihilation. I know a lot about it now. A lot of facts. Like, it's nearly always men. That's not an opinion or a controversial statement for you to ponder. It's a fact. 95% of the people who do this are men. And actually, in a majority of cases, they are completely unknown to the authorities. Yeah, they don't have records. They're not being watched. They're not in the system. They're just dads. When I saw him going into court, he was broken. He was racked with sobs, drowning in tears and pain. I mean, he almost couldn't walk. And I looked at him, and all I thought was, "You are not broken enough." You are not shattered enough. You can never be broken enough for what you did. While in jail, he was put on permanent suicide watch, and during this time, he tried to make contact with me 3 times. The first time made me incandescent with rage. The second time made me think, "You sad, ridiculous, pathetic thing, just rot!" But the third time made me think nothing at all. Yeah, because I had stopped thinking about him. And when they called me to tell me he'd killed himself, I thought about him then. And I have never thought about him again. Because why? Now I carry on. I put one foot in front of the other. One of the surprising losses is the memories. Because there's so many he is in with them, and memories are happy for me. It's a beautiful place. And I cannot have that man, that negation of happiness in there. I cannot have him in there with me and my kids. So I rewrite those memories with him not in them. And it works. Let me tell you, it works. And soon I think I'll have him out of all of them. And then, oh God. Well, that'll be something. It really will. I think a lot about Danny, about what kind of person he would have become. I think he would have been a decent man. I really, really do. But I guess you can never tell, can you? Leanne would have been great. Leanne would have been incredible. What's that? Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you. It's just, hey, come here. I've got you. Shh, it's okay. I've got you. I'm sorry. I've got you now. I'll never let you go. Thank you, guys.
week and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day. That's it. That's all we have.
you.